Well, hello, friends. Glad you could join us. Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit in China for a day here in the CCRL where we could crown a champion. We'll get to that in just a second. Right now, it is the championship leader of Reimer on pole. 0.2 of a second clear of Johnny Damon in second. The pair of the Haas teams, Lil Mo and Cam Tizzle. Third and fourth, Charlie Golf fifth, Angry Walrus sixth. Going to be DWCJ 7th, 8th King Pro Player, 9th is Manson, 10th is Merck, 11th and 12th the two V-Carbs, 13th is Owa, 15th is Jabor, 16th Bongit, 17th Hemphead, and Anyote was apparently disqualified from that session. He'll start 17th. So, here's just the situation. Let's just analyze this. 2 rounds left after today. Mercedes have wrapped up the Constructors' Championship. The max you can get in the next 3 rounds is 204 points as a team. They currently lead that Mercedes squad. It's definitely more than that. Hang on, let me get the notes back up here. The most amount of points you can get in 3 rounds is 204 points. They are currently ahead by 242 over the Alpines. That's all fine and dandy. As for the Drivers' Championship, though, I'm going to go through this one more time just so I know if I have it correct. Currently, as it stands, Reimer does lead King Pro Player by 83 points. Now, the most you can get over the 3 races here is a total of... The most you can get here is 114 points over the next 3 rounds. So basically... How the hell does this work? Yeah, minus... I'm out of my mind. Hang on a second. So, I'm so stupid. So, 114 points is the max you can get out of the next 3 rounds. We will subtract the 38 today. So, if Reimer can get that gap, or maintain that gap to 76 points or more, when they exit today, Reimer will be crowned champion. Currently, that gap is at 83 points. King Pro Player pretty much needs to outscore Reimer here by a decent little bit if he wants to stay in this championship battle. I'll try my best to keep those notes open on the fly so we can have some accurate, up-to-date championship standings. But Reimer on the precipice of winning another CCRL Elite Tier Championship. Shanghai Circuit here in China. Fun times this does usually lead to some high tire degradation as we see from time to time. Couple of very tricky first 3 corners there, very patience testing. Rest of the circuit you got to watch out for not only oversteer but going over track limits as well. I think for Reimer here, he's really got to just make sure that he's able to hold off the charges out of the first couple of corners. Only 2 DRS sections here. And the second one going down the back straight has been shortened by a considerable amount. Of course, exiting Sector 1 into that right-hander, turn 6 very tight, then through kind of the S's of turn 7 and 8 into the double right-handers of 9 and 10. Got to beware of track limits there. The very tight 11 and 12 corner, the very long winding right-handed banked corner of turn 13, down the backstretch, a very long backstretch, into the right-hander of 14, the little kink at 15, and then that final turn 16. It's a slight left-hander quick. It'll be taken probably about 5th or 6th gear, I would think. Do often see some drivers go over track limits there. It's a tricky one to get right. We've got some very talented drivers here, and I'm sure they're going to bless us with another good one here. Oh, by the way, hope you all had a very happy Thanksgiving last Thursday. And if you're not from America, well, I don't really know what the hell you've been up to, but good to see you. 4 lights, 5 lights on here in Shanghai, not Beijing, in Shanghai, and we are underway. Reimer seems to have gotten off the line pretty dead even with Johnny Damon. Matter of fact, I would almost think, initially it looked as if Johnny Damon had gotten away better. The 3 abreast, going through that first corner to the 2 Haas's. The Charlie Golf goes straight up the middle and separates the 2 of them. as they make their way through now, turns 2 and 3 down the hill. It's a tricky one to get right this. You are so close to the drivers around you. Oh, and that's a car very much spinning to the inside. Johnny Damon's gone off. The McLaren of Charlie Golf's gone off, as well as the, I believe that was the Haas of Cam Tizzle. 3 cars having serious incidents then out of that third corner. One of them is once again being Cam Tizzle, has lost a bit of the front wing and is now down by a considerable amount. Reimer does still lead this Grand Prix. There's your pit window, 15 to 27. Wait, that doesn't seem right. 15 to probably 27. I don't even know. I can't read, as it turns out. As far as tire strategies are concerned, Reimer on the mediums, King Pro the hards. Walrus has gone medium, as well as they snake their way down the turn 10 to 11 straight there. Majority of the grid actually choosing the medium tires for this occasion. Or sorry, the majority choosing the hards. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th of DWCJ, Johnny Damon, Merck, and Pontiac Bandit all in the mediums, as we do have another car round at the back. Owaz off to the inside. Tricky corner, that one. That turn 13. You can sometimes really have the car get away from you if you're not careful. Looking into the corner now, Johnny Damon wants to have a look back to the inside of the Alpine of DWCJ. He has lost 4 positions in the opening sequence here. Remember, had a little bit of a slide coming out of turn 2 and 3, has resulted in that loss of position. King Pro Player is up 6 spots, actually up to second now, as Rapid Reimer has a 2.5 second lead over his teammate. Remember, the Mercedes team has already clinched the Constructors' Championship here. Angry Walrus nearly was taken by Lil Mo to the inside. Mo has actually lost that 3rd spot down to 4th. After the opening there is, that King Pro Player has gotten slightly squirrely, getting on throttle. Walrus has nearly had a bit of a look there, as we got another car around at the back. 15 to 27, that's what our thing says. I don't really know how that makes any sense, but okay. Looks as if Pontiac Bandit has had a slight go around. He's trying to get his way back towards Bong It then. 3 cars in the pit lane. Hemphead, Charlie Golf, and Cam Tizzle. As it appears, Reimer may have made somewhat of a mistake not too long ago. That gap was about 2.6 seconds. Now down to just 1. Up through turn 11 and 12, in towards 13. Oh, we've got Pontiac Bandit around again. This time exiting turn 10. Trying to get that car back up to grips, and he's done it. Down the back straight they go. Lil Mo's going to have a good look here, I think, at Angry Walrus. Walrus is going to get some DRS from the back end of King Pro Player. Oh, King Pro Player's in quite the hole here as King Pro tries to defend the inside to block off Walrus. And, a couple of cars actually going wide here. Both, Lil Mo definitely went wide. I think Angry Walrus had to take a wide line as well. That was very tricky. Lil Mo does not gain the position. Walrus does. Get it over King Pro Player. DWCJ to the inside, the left side over Johnny Damon. Now up through turns 1, 2, and 3. And it looks as if Johnny Damon is going to be able to try to get him back around the outside. And then back to the inside through turn 2. It's a tricky one. This is turn 3 at this point. Through turn 3. Through 4 they go. A little contact there. Oh, and that's the Aston Martin off to the inside. That's Angry Walrus. Seems as he's gotten out of shape. Exiting turn 4. He will be going down to 7th. Although, thankfully for him, he's kept the car off the wall, and we can continue. Johnny Damon, that car is ghosted, is back at it now, thankfully. King Pro Player to the inside of Lil Mo. This is through the very long left-hander of turn 7. And still side by side now as they go through the right-hander of 8, and then into the tight turn 9. And it looks as if King Pro Player is going to be able to stay out ahead for now. Bit of a wiggle there, getting on throttle, exiting 10. Lil Mo follows in his footsteps as they make their way down the straight. The Alpine of Merck wants to have a little bit of a look to the inside of Johnny Damon. Damon's actually gotten around DWCJ in the process. Reimer will lead King Pro Player, this time only by, I want to say maybe was he outside of DRS range as they got to the detection point. We'll see here in a second. DRS is activated for King Pro Player, so that is going to help King Pro keep one of these positions. Around the outside, Merck is going to go on Angry Walrus, as Merck's going to keep the toe to his teammate ahead of him, and that has prevented Walrus from being able to take that spot. King Pro Player has whittled that gap down to only 7/10 of a second. Remember, after that first lap, the gap was, a 2.6 between the top two? Yeah, it's come down a lot. DRS down the front straight, up through turn 1 they go. One of the most unique corner sequences in the world. I do love it. Exiting 4, now looking through 5 and into the tight right-hander at 6. Angry Walsh is going to try into the inside. That's a bit of a dive there, but he's made it happen very cleanly. Angry Walrus had it back on the throttle, and it looks as if he's able to get around DWCJ. That's a fantastic move. Oh, sorry, Merc. That would be a fantastic move. Oh, has Merc had a bit of a slide? Yes, he has. Over the curb of the inside through 7. He's caught the car, but he's going to lose the spot to Manson as well. Got to be careful not to touch the curve of the inside there through 7. That car will get out of shape as it's done there. Thankfully, he's not hit anything, and the track stays green. Going now through 12 and 13, and down this backstretch. King Pro Player, 6.5 tenths back to Reimer. The Haas, a Lil Mo. I would think closer here to being able to overtake. King Pro Player, remember, up 6 positions since the start. He stayed out of trouble and was able to improve massively as Pontiac Bandit has left the session, unfortunately for him. We look at tires. King Pro Player now fastest lap, 2 tenths behind his teammate as they make their way up the hill through turns 1, 2, and 3. King Pro is going to try to take that. Wow, that's a very interesting line that. He started off to the inside. He kind of checked himself and then stayed there. I thought he was going to kind of drift higher and give him a better line through 2 and 3. That's not actually the case. Looking back, now we do have Curveball and Jabor side by side, exiting 4. Looks as if we've also got Merc and Manson side by side. Merc's going to get around the left side of the Aston there, back up to 7th. Although not totally out of the woods yet. Let's see if Manson can strike back. Now this Chinese track is very high degradation. These cars do usually... These cars usually do begin to struggle with tire wear very shortly. These fellas that took the hards, I think are going to be very well off here. I mean, the mediums will last the 15 laps, but you're going to be feeling the effects probably about 6, 7 laps in. You're going to start to feel really those tires start to not necessarily slip away from you, but you're definitely not going to be turning the good lap times. You're going to be having a little more difficulty braking and turning. Into turn 14 they go. Merc was not able to strike at Manson that time. Curveball to the inside of Jabor. Nearly had that one around the right side of the Williams. Couldn't quite get there. Back up through the grid. Lil Mo within 2.5 tenths of King Pro Player. You know what Reimer could have done as well? Reimer could have dropped back and kind of given King Pro Player DRS, because Reimer is not allowed King Pro Player around. I think if Reimer was genuinely slower on pace, he would have given his teammate the spot. That's not the case here. I think Reimer is playing a team game, kind of backing down the road, allowing King Pro Player to keep that second spot to prevent Lil Mo from getting himself up there even further on the podium. Down towards turns 11 and 12 they go. Remember, I've only had 3 cars pit so far. Those were first lap incidents for Charlie Golf and Hemphead. Cam Tizzle's actually stopped twice. Not really sure what the deal is there, but down the back straight they go. And we get a yellow flag exiting turn 9. That is the Red Bull of OY. He's had a bit of a slide there. He'll get himself back sorted. Hasn't hit anything. The track stays green. Down in towards 14 now. And again, King Pro gets within 3 tenths of Reimer. Oh, that's a big slide from King Pro. He's only just caught it, but the Haas will get round him. Oh, and that is such an unfortunate error there for King Pro Player, because you know he and Reimer were absolutely teaming up there. And it's unfortunately not played out to the advantage of the Mercedes, at least not yet. Though what I will say, benefit... Oh, as we get a yellow flag going down the pit straight, that is Jabor. Well, Jabor spun that car coming into that final corner. He's currently doing donuts in the middle of the pit straight. And into the wall once more. Well, it seems to me Jabor has given up on life. Virtual safety car on track. This is just silly now, isn't it? So anyways, look at the top couple of cars here. This virtual safety car has been out for probably a good lap or so now. The top 6 cars are really in a pack of their own right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Reimer, Mo, Pro, Damon, DWCJ, and Walrus all kind of own their own here. It's 7 seconds back down the road, back to Merck in 7th. 2 seconds behind him is Manson. 2.5, 3 behind him is Curveball. 8.5 behind him is Agnote. 7 behind him is Pontiac. So yeah, realistically, we've got a really competitive top 5, and then the rest of the grid is kind of on their lonesome here, it has to be said. Oh, and it appears DWCJ is actually missing the end plate on the left side. The left front of his wing there. That I didn't initially see. I wonder how much of an impact that's playing for him right now. Yeah, he seems quite tentative there through 7. You can assume it's definitely hurting him, although it's not a crippling amount of hurting him right now. I think it's just slightly an inconvenience more than anything. He seems to be okay. I think, he's still within range where he could try to contend with Johnny Damon. And a brief yellow flag there for the Red Bull of Owa as Jabor has retired in the entry to the pit lane. But there's actually not a safety car. He's done that in the pit lane. Track does stay green. Down the back straight they go. Reimer's going to be under pressure this time from Mo, it has to be said. Mo's going to look to the inside. Reimer's going to have nothing for him, as now Damon is going to look to the inside of King Pro Player as well. He had a little bit of a peak, wasn't quite close enough alongside to be able to get around the Mercedes that time. Well, if anything, that's kind of allowed DWCJ back into this. Walrus is something has gone wrong with him. He's actually quite far behind the rest of the top 5 right about now. He doesn't appear to have wing damage. Maybe did he get caught out by surprise by the ending of the virtual safety car, and he's kind of lost, or has he made a mistake? But he is outside of DRS range. You see, but this is important still for Walrus, because even if he's outside DRS range, he can still see the cars ahead of him. Let me tell you something. If you have visual contact to the cars ahead of you, that gives you hope. Let's be real. You're in that situation as a driver. You got plenty of time to the cars behind you. 7.5 seconds to the next car down the road. Even if he's a 1.5, 2 seconds behind, he at least knows they're there. He knows if a mistake happens, he could capitalize. But I tell you what, we've already seen this lap alone. He's got a couple of bouts of oversteer there as King Pro and Damon once more are going to be temporarily side by side there. Oh, big slide going through 13. And once again, that transition getting on throttle coming out of 13 is very difficult. We've seen cars already today have problems going through that. Side by side they go down the back straight. Absolute drag race this between King Pro and Johnny Damon. I'll give the edge to Damon right about now. He'll be able to brake later on the inside. And as it turns out, we got another Ferrari going around. I believe is that Bongit that's had a bit of a spin. Yeah, Bongit seems to have gone around. He's sorted himself back out, and we're ready to go. So Lil Mo is taking the lead. He's got it by about a second over Reimer. DWCJ side by side with King Pro. King Pro is going to get back down to up through DWCJ there to 4th. We got another yellow flag. I believe that time is Hemphead, who's had a slide somewhere along the line. Yep. Oh, and he's lost the majority of the front wing as well. I'm afraid he's not going to get a virtual or full safety car, as that is well off track. King Pro to the inside. For Johnny Damon to the inside of King Pro. King Pro's actually made that happen. Was that around the outside? Either way, Johnny Damon seems to have made a mistake getting on the throttle, exiting 6. That car is now behind DWCJ, 9/10 of a second. Reimer on those medium tires. He's got to start to be feeling it now. Only about 5 laps left in this part of the strategy. I'm assuming the hards aren't going to be in too much later. I pegged the hards to come in probably around 17. whereas the mediums will probably be about 15. So yeah, I mean, it's quite tricky at the moment. Reimer behind Mo now, outside that second gap, as well as King Pro Player, as well as DW, as well as Johnny Damon. He's going to look to the inside of DWCJ here, up to the 4th spot, in towards turn 14. Walrus has a bit of a peak there. He's not right close enough to make anything happen. As Hemphead is retired, that being in the pit lane. Charlie Golf 4/10 of a second behind. Oh, now might have a fun little battle this going down the back straight. Oh, a little bit of slides for both of them. Both of them having to check up there. Charlie Golf is going to maintain his way to the inside. I don't think he's going to have as good acceleration, but with DRS and with Energy Sword, it's not quite going to matter, as he is going to blow past the Red Bull. Coming up closer to halfway through this session in just a couple of laps' time, and the grid's starting to get spread out here, but we will be seeing pit stops not too far down the road. 4/10 between DW and Johnny Damon as they make their way through 7 and 8. Reimer has gotten back within that second of Lil Mo, still about 7/10 behind. Reimer's actually kind of catching him there. Despite being on those medium tires, which we kind of thought by now we're going to start to wear out, actually doing quite well. Let's see as they make their way out of 13, down the backstretch. That DRS coming up now. Reimer's going to be back within range, and I tell you what, if the DRS was where it used to be down this backstretch, I think he probably could have had a fair chance to catch him. Now that's interesting there. Only shaving off about 1/10 of a second with the aid of DRS there, Reimer. That seems like a very big advantage to have with DRS and having not really gotten anything out of it. Down the pit straight this time, DRS also activated as well as Johnny Damon into the pit lane. And yeah, he's maybe gained about 1/10.5, 2/10 of a second there. DRS not really doing the heavy lifting for Reimer here. Although what I will say is this, he's now just shaved off another 2/10 of a second there. I think Mo might be struggling in some of these slow to medium speed corners. Let's go along and find out. So exiting 6, yeah, very tentative to get on the throttle there. Car does look stable. Hasn't used much of his energy store. No real signs of oversteer as well, but you can see he's trying to... I think he might be trying to conserve his tires here, because that car is barely even hitting, you know, like the suggested point when he should be upshifting at this point. He's being so easy getting back on the throttle. Very smooth. Let's put it that way. He's done well. Very smooth throttle input now. Seems to me like he might be conserving just a little bit. As back down the back straight they go, and again, Reimer's not really gaining time despite having DRS. King Pro Player didn't have it that time, but he's gotten back within a second of his teammate as Angry Walrus to the inside of DW into that 14th corner. Walrus is going to take the spot. DW is going to try to switch him back on the right side. Oh, and I think if DW got on the throttle a little cleaner, then probably could have had a fair look at Walrus. He's going to go into the pit lane anyway. So obviously it's going to be the hard tires on here for DWCJ. Anything else, I'd be super surprised. Back up to the top 3 now. King Pro has actually made it within 5.5 of a second now. King Pro Player is getting himself back into this battle amongst the top 3. Lil Mo up to the top spot, having started 3rd. Reimer started 1st, has since been taken by Lil Mo after leading a lot of the opening stages on his mediums. King Pro Player up 5 spots since the start. Stayed out a lot of trouble. We had a bunch of cars go around off the start there. Damon, Charlie Golf, Cam Tizzle being 3 of which. All having some difficulties in the opening stages. Walrus is up 2 spots. Merc is up 5. Damon down to 8th, although having just pit. Agnote up 8 positions. As down the back straight we go once more. Reimer is just not going to be close enough to Lil Mo here. King Pro player is not really going to gain any time to Reimer either. Damon has stopped. DW, Charlie Golf, Pontiac, and Cam Tisler are the drivers who have stopped so far. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing more of that here in just a little bit. Nobody in the top 6. Matter of fact, only 2 drivers in the top 10 have taken that stop, and now Angry Walrus is committing to his. As we are halfway through this Chinese Grand Prix. And away goes the Aston Martin. He'll be falling at least probably to, let's say, maybe 8th or 9th. 10th if he's not careful. And 7th is going to be the answer. He's able to stay ahead of both Anyote and DWCJ there. Oh, big slide for King Pro. He's caught it. Only just getting on throttle. Coming out of 9 and going in towards 10. That car got way out of shape. He was able to hold on to it only just. Top 4 still have yet to stop. Curveball, Anyote, Owa, and Bong it. As Owa into the pit lane now. 7 drivers left out of the 15 who have yet to stop, 4 of which in the top 5, 4 of which being the top 4. Reimer is this is interesting here for Reimer. I think he's actually quite at the disadvantage here, I would think, having started on those medium tires. The drivers around him on the hards, he's going to pit this lap for those hard tires. That is, I don't think that's quite going to help him. Those hards are going to take a long time getting up to temperature, as they usually do. They're not going to be quicker, whereas the 2 guys around you are both going to be on the mediums when you meet them back out on track. This is an interesting call for Reimer here. I feel like it's interesting as a driver at this point because you really don't know how to gauge the strategies of the cars around you. You know what I mean? If we talk about real life, team principal. Oh, let's look down the side of the garage there. Oh, the Ferrari's putting on a set of medium tires. How does that affect us? If you're in this race now, you really have no idea the type of tire that the cars around you are on, except for those shown in your miniature leaderboard that you have at the top of the screen in cars. Only about 3-4 drivers' names, one of them being yourself. So yeah, you really don't know what the cars around you have done. It's very difficult like that, because I think if Reimer knew how many of the people were actually going to choose the hard tires, you get the feeling that he would have started on maybe the hards, and then especially those around him, and it kind of would have cucked his teammate a little bit. You know, trying to go one and then another into the pit lane, having both started on the hards. But I feel like it probably would have helped him in the long run. As Lil Mo into the pit lane here, our race leader, he'll be stopping for the hards to the mediums here. Johnny Damon down the backstretch is going to get around Manson. Bit of a slide there, getting back on throttle, 6/7 of a second. Lil Mo onto the medium tires as predicted. He may fall behind the Mercedes of Reimer. Let's see if this is paid off for Reimer. Now exiting the pit lane, and yes, he is ahead of Lil Mo. We do have a yellow flag somewhere along the line. Not really sure what that was. Manson to the pit lane. He'll go to the mediums as well. Now, Lil Mo is only behind Reimer by 0.8 of a second, but you got to understand as well that we've still got over 10 laps to go in this race. You know, Reimer pit just a lap ago. Having gone, 14, 15 laps on that set of medium tires, that kind of tells me that, he probably could, Lil Mo, survive and kind of thrive at the back end of that stage. Although it's not guaranteed, because to me, it seems like if Lil Mo doesn't make a move happen, within the next 5 to 6 laps, that's pretty much the golden window of this set of tire. he doesn't make something happen by them, Reimer could realistically have a lot for him come the end of the Grand Prix. King Pro Player into the pit lane from his hard tires. He'll be going to the mediums as well. Medium tires going on. He will fall back, I believe, probably behind Reimer, Lil Mo, and maybe Johnny Damon as well. Let's see. Reimer crosses the line now. Down the pit straight they go. And he will exit the pit lane behind Johnny Damon down in 4th. Damon's going to have at least a couple of seconds on King Pro here. Only 1.7. I think for Johnny Damon right now, he's got to look to get back within DRS range of Lil Mo. If he can do that, he'll stay ahead of King Pro. Two-tenths of a second now between the top two. Lil Mo has given Reimer a good fight so far. Reimer, we still think, is going to be at the disadvantage here. Probably until at least lap 23, 24. At that point, the crossover will probably happen and the hards will be most likely the better tire. To the inside goes Lil Mo, and even before he has DRS, is going to get around Reimer and back to the lead of the Grand Prix. We're still at this rate now, remember. Reimer will walk away with the championship here. Oh, his Mo's going to go a little bit wide. For the time being, Reimer, if this result holds, will be champion of CCRL. With 2 rounds to spare after that. Get a yellow flag. King Pro Player getting around Johnny Damon up to the inside through turns 2 and 3. Coming up next on the calendar, we got 2 races left. Next time out, we head to Baku, Azerbaijan for the penultimate round of the season. And December 18th, we head to Belgium, Circuit Spa-Francorchamps for the 100% distance Grand Prix. That should be a fantastic way to close out the season. 2 tracks definitely on my short list of favorites. So at the line this time, when they get back to the start-finish line, there will be 10 laps to go. Lil Mo leads. He leads Reimer by 9/10 of a second. The question is, once again, how long will it take for that crossover point to happen between the hard tires and the mediums? Could Reimer be at the advantage come the end of the Grand Prix? As Owa is going to go for a bit of a spin exiting turn 4. That car is now missing a bit of the front wing as well. Gets himself back up into shape, and we're good to go. King Pro Player has picked up 3 seconds for multiple warning. That was exiting that final corner. Turn 16, he's gone wide, all 4 tires over the white line. And our first and so far only 3-second penalty recipient of the day with 10 laps to go. But what I will say, King Pro Player starting to claw this gap back to Reimer. About 9/10 of a second, a full second. His curveball to the inside of Manson. Up through the first couple of corners, up to 8th. Cam Tizzle looks if he's gotten around Owa in the proceedings. Exiting turn 10, down the straight towards turn 11. Reimer is actually now within 4/10 of Lil Mo. And again, we kind of thought Lil Mo in that first stint was sort of conserving his tires. He did go the long way. Took the bit of the overcut on the hards there. Could be doing the same with the mediums and just trying to save up as much as he can. He's now using a lot of his energy store. Down about 62% there. at about 100, exiting that 13th corner. It's King Pro Player to the back end of Reimer. Down the pit straight they go again. Lil Mo leads Rapid Reimer by 8.5, 9/10 of a second. Oh, and Pontiac Bandit has done it on track. Exiting turn number 10. That car is off in the boonies to the... Well, it's actually more to the inside. Crucially here, it is only just a virtual safety car for this stranded V-carb exiting turn 10. Let's go along with Cam Tisla, see if we can pick out what he's done. He was off to the inside of the circuit. Oh, you know what he may have done? He may have just get a little bit of oversteer coming on throttle, exiting 10. Has hit the curbs on the outside and slammed it on the inside. That's probably exactly what he's done. Green flag back in the air. Owa's got a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. So up into 11 and 12 they go. And what I'm thinking might happen here, we may see the two Mercedes cars swap position. King Pro on 3 seconds penalty. Could he look to get round Reimer on purpose? Sort that one out. Get round Reimer. Be on the medium tires along with Lil Mo. Back Lil Mo down the road. And get Reimer into position. No doubt that Reimer and King Pro have been... I will say, usually, we don't typically find so many driver pairings with this level of rapport that these two have. Good mates, these two. And I'm thinking genuinely, Zowa retires in the pit lane. I think genuinely a lot of their successes, they're just such on the same page constantly. But the line this time will be 7 laps to go. And I think still we could see a lot to happen here as we got a Red Bull who's gone round. That's Owa's vacant Red Bull there, making its way back out on track. Down the back straight they go. Lil Mo leads, only just. King Pro Player in pursuit. Rapid Reimer behind by about 7.5, 7/10 of a second. King Pro is not going to be able to overtake the Haas this time. Heading down the pit straight now, King Pro Player within a 10. Round the outside of Lil Mo. The Mercedes up to the top spot. Let's see if Lil Mo can strike back, because I think this is probably part of the plan here. King Pro's going to try to back Lil Mo up here and get Reimer back into position. I think that's probably the ultimate goal. It's not quite happened yet. Rapid Reimer, mind you. 5 wins this season. Out of the 13 rounds we have raced. Not to mention that, 5 second place finishes to boot. So Reimer pretty much this season has either finished first or second. His lowest scoring day was 25 points. Let's just put that into perspective. We've been racing. We're down to the last 2 rounds of the season coming up next. And Reimer has finished no lower than third this entire season. The lowest he has finished is third place. The lowest points total he has taken is 25. The only other time he finished third, he took the fastest lap as well for 26. It has been an incredible season for Rapid Reimer. I mean, genuinely unbelievable to see the amount of pace and talent that this man has. He's finished first 4 times. He's finished second 5. He's placed top 5 in all 12 rounds. Walrus getting around Johnny Damon then. Looks like Johnny Damon's actually going to fall back to 6th. At the line this time will be 5 laps to go. Oh, what's this? That's a car to the inside. It's just the Haas then of Cam Tizzle, I believe. Once again, at the line this time will be 5 laps to go for Reimer to be crowned a champion. Down the pit straight yet again, King Pro's going to try to defend that inside line. Mo, despite being 0.2 of a second away, is just not going to be close enough. As Cam Tizzle is retired, that being in the pit lane. DWCJ. Oh, an Angry Walrus side by side. Wow, the battle going on here. Johnny Damon round the outside of DW. 0.3 of a second between himself and DW. This has been a good battle going on here, it seems. Into that 6th corner, and it looks as if Damon's just not going to be close enough. Oh, big slide there for Walrus. He's only just able to hold on. DWCJ next up is looking for any sort of opening. Anyote and Charlie Golf up through the first couple of corners. As if Charlie Golf has been able to hold off the pressuring Red Bull there. Down the back straight again. Battle going on here for that 4th spot. Walrus leads DWCJ and Johnny Damon only just. DRS going to be activated now. DW staying in line. He's going to have to choose the outside. Oh, that's quite the block there from Walrus. That's going to allow Damon to the inside. Wasn't even really a double move there from Walrus. He was on the inside. DW followed him low, and then Walrus chose to use his defensive move as one allowed move to the left side, which is what DW happened to guess anyway. It looked like a block, but that is by rule, I think, a fair defense. And either way now, Angry Walrus has picked up a 3-second penalty as they still file their way through the first couple of corners. Reimer, by the way, is not really closed in to Lil Mo whatsoever, not in the recent moments. Lil Mo is doing well to stay within reach of King Pro player. King Pro once again having that 3-second time penalty. Reimer trying to follow in behind and potentially try to play spoiler to Lil Mo's what could be victory here. We got 3 laps to go at the line this time by. King Pro will defend inside. No challenge from Lil Mo for the time being into that 14th corner. Still 0.3 of a second to gap as they exit 13. DWCJ leads Walrus 0.3 of a second. DRS activated now for the 2 behind him. Let's see who makes the move where. Both of them are going to choose the inside. They're going to attempt to go 3 abreast into the corner. DW backs off. Walrus in the middle, Damon on the inside. Oh, and look at this. DW's going to try to send it back. And maybe, just maybe, can they get round both Damon and Walrus? Well, Walrus is going to fall back. Brilliantly done there as Reimer's going to get round Lil Mo. Mo has slid the car. Exiting turn 4. It's now looking to be a Mercedes 1 and 2. DW to the inside of Damon. Damon and Walrus both went low on DW. DW hit the brakes early. They're going to blow right past us, Goose, and that's exactly what happened. Slammed on the brakes, let the two drift high through the corner and trying to outbrake each other, and he's taking the spots back. Brilliantly done from DW. And now, with 2 laps to go at the line this time, Mercedes potentially flying in formation as we got the Ferrari of Bong it round at the back. This race started with 17. We have lost 5, down to 12. The battle still rages on between DW, Damon, and Walrus. Walrus battling hard despite having 3 seconds in penalty. This battle probably really more up to both DW and Johnny Damon, but that Aston Martin is going to play a factor in this. DW is going to defend low. Damon's going to look high. Walrus is going to look low. And side by side into the corner. Johnny Damon's going to have that spot. He will push wide. And there goes DW to the inside again. Well, he's pulled that move twice on them now. Oh, and that, well, I tell you what, Johnny Damon, I think, has run a little bit deep into that corner. Either that or Walrus has hit the brakes unexpectedly early, because that Sauber is now missing the end plate on the left side of the front wing. Up through the corner, side by side, Walrus and DW. Up through turns 1, 2, and 3 now they go. DW on the outside, 2 laps to go here. About a lap and a half, really, for the drivers in the top 3. But now, Damon. We have a look on Walrus. Walrus defending like a lion here. Damon's got to be frustrated with that. Knowing you got a car ahead of you with a 3-second penalty. See, this is always the defense I took. You got 3 seconds in penalty. You got every right to race. But if you know you're at this stage in the Grand Prix, wouldn't you know that that's just not going to... You're not going to make that 3-second gap. I mean, credit to Walrus. He's fighting like a lion here. But to Damon, he's going to take the side of, hey, you've got a penalty. Why are you not easing up a little bit? You don't have to. No rule saying you should. That's just the hunger that racing drivers share. Penalty or not. Final lap of the Grand Prix underway. King Pro Player leads Reimer by 1.5 seconds. Walrus now round DWCJ. At the moment, this is how things stand. The gap between the two. Currently, oh, look at this. Hang on just a minute here. Well, it's not going to matter, is it? Because King Pro's got that 3-second penalty. If he's able, this is interesting. If King Pro is able to put that 3rd second back to Reimer and keep the fastest lap and win the race, that gap will be 75 points. By the way, that will keep King Pro Player in contention, but he's got to put 1.5 seconds back to Reimer as they go down the back straight. He's still got the fastest lap. But I don't think it's going to happen. Oh, this is interesting now. Yeah, the gap will still be reduced by 7. King Pro Player will finish 2nd, plus the fastest lap, unless it's taken at the line here. Reimer is going to win the Grand Prix. King Pro Player will finish 2nd. So at the moment, King Pro Player has scored 31 points. Reimer does finish ahead. Reimer, exiting this race, will lead with an 89-point gap. Ladies and gentlemen, Rapid Reimer, champion of CCRL. And the Mercedes fly in formation as Constructors champions. What a fantastic showing by the Mercedes. And Lil Mo down the 6th. What's happened there? Lil Mo's losing spots. I don't really know how that's happened. He definitely crossed that line in 3rd. What did Lil Mo do? Why is he losing position? This is very odd. Anyway, hey, be sure to join us next time out when we head to the Baku City Street Circuit in Azerbaijan for the penultimate round of the season. Congratulations to Reimer and the Mercedes team. We still got 2 rounds of racing left. For Hotspot, it's been a pleasure joining you once again here in the CCRL, and we'll see you next time.